Hello. Welcome
Hey.
back. I'm here with Dasha Denger. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Thank you for making the journey on over here before we get flooded here and stranded and we'll never be able to leave. But
That's right, I might die going home.
I don't know. We're on top of the hill, so we'll live for now. But yes, she is the creator and editor-in-chief of the
That's right.
QC Editorial Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes. Now, how long have you been doing that?
So I started in 2016, actually, fall of 2016, but issue 1 came out in March 2017.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So it's been a minute, yep.
And you've been doing photography yourself for longer then?
Yeah, it's been over 10 years now. I started when I was a teenager. I opened my own business and I was doing senior portraits for like friends of mine. And then it became a business in 2009. So, well, I guess I was shooting before that, but like business-wise, it was just under a year. I stopped doing that last year. So I've been doing photography for quite some time.
Nice, nice. Now, what made you want to get into like the magazine side of it?
I do a lot of fashion, obviously, as you might have seen, editorial stuff, and I submit it to other magazines, and a lot of times it's not the right feel or this and that, and they get rejected. So I don't know, I think one day I just got pissed and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make my own magazine.
Yeah, right?
And my shit will be good enough. So.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way to do it. Yeah, and the thing that I found was interesting, it's kind of like it's like high-end fashion kind of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is cool. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily think of that when you think of the QC, you know?
Yeah, but it's a lot of international photographers though, so it's not really from the QC, but it's like made here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool though. Yeah, so the QC has its own high-end fashion magazine. If you didn't know, you uncultured fuck, go check it out. Yeah. Why'd you choose that name?
I don't know. I was brainstorming of what the fuck to call it for so long, and the editorial just sounded classy and made sense, like it's editorial photography, or if I wanted to have writing, obviously that's editorial, so it just made sense. The QC part was just because it's in the Quad Cities.
Yeah.
That might drop, with maybe possible moving in the future, so
Sure, yeah.
it'll still be the editorial.
Is there anything else called the editorial or no?
I'm sure there are other things. Yeah, I've run across a couple, and they're more like New York Times type, like article based magazines. So it's different than what I do, but
That's cool. And now, was it just you alone that started this whole thing?
yep, just me. I had a couple of people early on kind of helping me proofread and help me publish, but not for the past like year and a half now.
Solo?
It was just me.
Nice.
Yep.
What's it like as far as like how difficult it is, like from just getting it started? Like, oh, I want to start a magazine. Like, what
Like
did
from
you
the
have-
ground up, like
Yeah,
what
like
went
how
on.
did you start? Like,
A lot of research as to what is cool and like a lot of social media, because most popular magazines these days aren't really printed. They're on social media. So I was looking at like, I don't even know off the top of my head the names of them, but they had a super great following, and I was checking them out and I saw their layouts and I thought, yeah, I can kind of pull that together. So then I started building the website and like just kind of going from there, and kind of from my own roster of photographers that I knew, models, makeup artists, all that. I just kind of pulled that together and just kept sending things out like, hey, if you want to be in this magazine, shoot me an email. I'd love to see your work. And I just kind of kept building until now I just have submission pages and people submit and then I approve or deny. Now I'm the one doing that.
Yeah. Rejected.
That's right. With no reason why.
Yeah.
No, I tell them why. It's fine.
You're not good enough, damn it. But you said you were sending out messages to people you had worked with before? Okay.
Yep.
So then how did you, is it all people you've worked with, or you said it's a lot of out of state and
Yeah,
stuff?
it's a lot of international. It first started off with just a very small amount of people and a couple international people who just happened to see it and submit. But let's see, Ben William, I'm sorry if I said that wrong. He's from the Quad Cities, but he's moved out to Washington now. He was in the area, so we talked, and I did a couple of features for him. Nathan Richards is a friend of mine. He was out in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I met up with him in person in New York, and it was just really weird how that happened because he's not from the Quad Cities, but
Yeah.
I knew him from social media. Ethan, the Ox Project is his name. He's super good. You guys should check him out. Yeah, I just know him. He's a friend of mine. He's in the magazine a couple of times. So it just kind of kept building.
Yeah, yeah, because I suppose when you put it out there, other models and photographers are like, oh yeah, just take it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get my stuff seen, so
Yeah.
do you get a lot of submissions then that way?
Quite a bit. Sometimes it's slow and then it picks up like last minute. Sometimes it's ongoing all the time because I do online like webitorial content that's always available on social media and on the website and on Facebook. And then I do printed, and the printed ones are print on demand quarterly. So if you want a copy, you can go and buy it. Otherwise, I don't like print them and then have them to sell.
Yeah, just made as you order
It's a
them or
lot of money.
whatever.
Yeah.
Who does the printing? Like just local?
It's called MagCloud. No, they're
like
the
a
only
site.
ones, that I could find that would do that. They take a cut, but if you want it, you kind of have to just do it. Because I mean, when I used to buy from them, it was expensive, but
Yeah.
it's worth it.
Yeah, I bet it, especially like the first issue, I'm sure it feels really nice. Get the first issue.
Yeah, it
to
was
hold
awesome.
like,
Yeah,
oh,
I had
man.
a couple of release parties up until the third one. And then after that, I was like, okay, this is like a lot of money.
Yeah.
I can't keep doing these. But yeah, it's still all available.
Hell yeah. Do you do this now as a photographer? You model yourself too? or
Sometimes. I mean, I take like self-portraits and stuff. That's about it though.
Now, do you do the same thing, submitting your stuff to other magazines as well?
Yep, all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. As a photographer, I definitely want to get myself to a place where I feel like a lot of people have seen my art and maybe like it. But it's still early days though. Even though I've been shooting for over 10 years, it's like, man, I haven't really gotten very far, but I keep going.
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
trying.
Persistent.
That's right. Yep.
Now, is there like a lot of magazines that you've submitted to? Like, is there a bunch out there?
There's a fuckload. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I've only been in a handful, maybe more than a handful, but like I said, since like 2014 to now, it's been a few, and they're all basically online, or they do like the print on demand, so they're not like Vogue or nothing on newsstands, nothing you'd see just shopping at Borders. It's not gonna happen, but I'm working towards that.
Yeah, gotta have your shit in like the local shops and stuff.
Yeah, again, it's a lot of overhead to do that, and if they
Yeah.
don't sell. But I was trying to sell a couple here and there, and a couple issues sold, so I mean, it's cool. Like, I'm not upset,
Right.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Now, when you're submitting to a magazine or when someone even submits to you, what's like the process? I mean, you could tell me what your process is, or what do you think their process is as far as like approving or denying someone? Like, what do they, I guess every magazine might be different, but
Yeah, everyone's got their own like style, I guess. A lot of times I get a response saying like it's too conceptual, so like it's not too fashion oriented the way they would want it, or shooting style wasn't exactly what they wanted, or the model didn't look the way they wanted. It's always like really nitpicky shit that I just don't think is that important, but they all have their like looks and themes or sticks up their ass. I don't know.
Right. Do you do the same thing though? Like as far as I mean, your issues have like a theme or something?
Yeah, so to an extent, and I always explain that to people if it is like a rejection. So most of the time, like 90% of my submissions are accepted. I'm looking for quality, so not like, okay, you took your iPhone, you took some pics. Clearly that's not gonna happen. I don't do like pinup stuff. It's very like strictly fashion editorial, and it's gotta have a lot of class and a lot of high-end kind of vibe, and like people know the difference when they see it, but they can't explain it sometimes.
Yeah.
When you see it, you kind of understand. But yeah, if it's like too much portrait work, then I might not take it. If it's like, okay, that's a lot of dodging and burning, I'm not feeling that right now. It's a little maybe not. So yeah, I mean, if you look at what I have published, you can kind of get a great idea of what I like. And it varies. I mean, I like male and female. It can be any size. It just has to be done well.
It's got to be good.
It's got to be good. Yeah.
We don't accept shit. Now, as an experienced photographer, is it easy for you to like tell like, oh, this is an iPhone? Like if someone takes a picture,
Sometimes
is it getting
it's
harder
hard,
now?
dude. Yeah, that shit is good now. Like Ethan, for instance, the Ox project, he's taken some on his phone, and I was just like, what the fuck? They're so good.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's also talented, so it's not, the camera, it's his talent. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
So,
lighting and everything.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. What kind of camera do you use?
I have a Canon 6D.
Nice.
It's pretty decent. It was one of the cheaper ones, but it does all the things I want it to do, so
Nice.
it works.
Do you ever do anything on your phone, like just if camera's not around, but
Kind
gotta get a
of.
good
Yeah, I
shot,
don't know.
but-
I don't feel like my Samsung whatever is very versatile
yeah.
in that sense.
I was just wondering because they're starting to get better, like we were
They
saying,
are.
like crazy good. Like
Mhm.
you know that camera company Red, they came out with a phone. They make like high end film cameras, movie cameras and stuff. Like
Yeah, I might have heard of them. Yeah,
they came out with
yeah.
like a phone that's supposed to be all crazy or something. I don't know if it's just
I'm
hype.
super
but-
peeved about that. It's like, just fucking buy a camera and do it right.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why they.
I don't get it.
Maybe they're just trying to, because their shit's like thousands of dollars. So
Yeah, I mean,
the phone's
it's
like $1,000.
the quality of a camera. Then maybe you should just buy a camera and then
Maybe they're
have a
trying
phone.
to just get like a wider buyer's market, I guess. Trying to get people to. You're
Something
not going to
like
spend
that.
30 grand on this camera, so spend 1,500 on this phone.
Yeah.
Or something.
And it can call people. Like, okay, cool.
I heard it was like supposed to have like a bunch. You could put attachments on it, like to the camera
I'm
or
sure,
something.
yeah.
So that might make
Mhm.
it cool, but I don't know. I'm too poor for that.
Seems like a lot of money.
It seems like a lot of money. You get the shitty plastic one, or you can pay even more for the titanium one, or some shit. But
unnecessary.
yeah, I don't know. But I hear it has a holographic screen.
Oh my god, I need one of those.
We gotta get it now.
Can I go now? Buy it?
But now, what originally got you interested or started in photography? You always been into it since you were young?
Actually, no, that's a funny story. My mom is the best artist I know. She is the most talented woman, and I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating. She's always painted and drawn her whole life since I was born, so I've always been around that. Like, she would paint these huge murals when I was like 2 or 3, and I would just like sit there like, what?
Not even understand like how.
No,
what?
have no concept of how hard that is, but just be mesmerized. And when I was like maybe 14, I want to say, she actually was the one who got a point and shoot camera. It was this like Fujifilm S9000 whatever camera, and I took it from her. She was kind of mad about it. She was like, "What? That's my camera." I was like, "No, this is cool. I'm gonna fuck around with it. Thanks." And it had like a macro setting on it. So I went outside and I took photos of like bugs and flowers and all sorts of like tiny cute shit. And once I got home and I started editing them on my Photoshop CS2, whoa, that was cool. It was old.
What year was this then? Like.
Probably like 2007. No, before that, maybe like 2006. I don't even know. Time is. I don't ever see any time.
It's a blur now.
Yeah. Anyway, I started working on it and I was like, "Ooh, this is hard." Because up until then, I was like, "Fuck photography. That's so simple. I watch my mom. She's amazing."
Yeah, yeah.
Like, this is a joke, right?
Anyone could get a camera and just take shots.
Yeah, and then I got into it and I was like, "Fuck, okay, this is intense." And since then, I've just been shooting. So, like I said, it started from like nature to my friends to doing senior portraits with my friends and then clients. And then after the clients, I kind of got a little burnout a couple years into it, and I was like, I want to do creative stuff. So that's kind of how I started doing the editorial, fashion, concept work. And that's the one thing that always felt right, I guess. Like the senior portraits, it's like, it's cool, like I like it, but it's not my passion.
It's kind of like a job or something. Just
Yeah, like not even a job. It's just like, it's a craft that I know well and I'm very good at it, but I don't like 100% want to do it all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain that, because I do like to do it every now and then.
Yeah, I would get burnt out if I had to do the same shit over and over again. I always got to change it up or else I'll go crazy.
Yeah, and the fashion thing is like, it's just for me. Like, no one's paying me, no one cares. Like, it's just whatever I want it to be. So it was so freeing and like liberating. Like, okay, yes, I can just create whatever the fuck I want. Like, I can put this person in this weird situation and someone's gonna like it.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that was the appeal.
So your mom was doing like giant murals,
Oh
like
my God, this woman is
canvases
incredible.
and stuff, like big ones.
They were like the size of probably the front of your house. I mean, they were huge. She would
Damn.
be on ladders painting them. And it was so sad too, because, well, I grew up in Russia. I'm Russian.
Nice.
So this was back in our hometown where the budget was fairly low. So she had to strip them every week. Like, I would watch her paint it and then literally go back to a blank canvas on the same piece.
What?
It like killed my soul. Even as a baby, I was like, this is so
Oh
sad.
man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What would she like when she's finished? She'd take a picture of it or something.
No, dude, this was like the early 90s. There was no photo
Wow.
taking.
So she's just doing it like for the love of it and everything. Just...
No, I mean, it was her job. Like, she was getting paid for it. But it was just sad because, like, she had to just, like, go back to white and start all over for whatever new thing she was making. Because it was for events. It was, like, this culture house that they had,
Oh,
like...
okay. So like a
like
temporary
shows
installation or something.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
yeah.
that would be the thing that got put in the big window.
Hmm.
It's just so sad that
That's interesting.
any photos of it, yeah.
How long were you in Russia?
So I was born in 92 and I moved here in 2001. So up until I was like 9 years old.
What was that like?
It was awesome. It was different. It wasn't like, oh my God, the USSR. Like, not really. Like, shit was about the same. The only difference was like every person didn't have a car. We didn't have like huge supermarkets with gallons of milk and like this and that. Like, it was just like smaller scale, like, I don't know, more down to earth kind of living, I guess.
Is that just because there's less population too? I'm not sure.
I mean, our town was pretty small, so maybe. But I think now, obviously, there's like everything. But in like 92, 95, I don't think there was
Interesting.
that much going on.
Is it really cold or no?
Cold? No, it's about the same as here, honestly. Yeah. It gets really cold in the wintertime, and it snows a fuckload. But summer's about the same.
So you moved here pretty young. Were you, or are you still like influenced by Russian culture? Like
Very much.
from
I'm
living there?
bilingual, yeah.
Nice, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speak very fluent.
Okay, well, yeah, but I forget, and then I
Yeah.
have to kind of like, okay, hold on, I'm really rusty, and this is embarrassing. I know what I'm saying. But if I have like a couple of days of talking with my mom, it all comes back.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Did you speak English when you're in Russia?
No, that's another fun story. So when I moved here, I went to Riverdale Heights in Bettendorf. That's where we moved to. And I had 2 tutors, one during school, one after school, and then my stepdad was tutoring me at home. So I had a lot going on that first year, and it was really good, and I learned it like instantly, because when you're a
Really?
kid, it's so easy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Huh. That's interesting because sometimes I've heard that English as a second language can be pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
Or certain aspects of it, like
Yeah, I
figures
feel
of
like
speech and stuff, that's weird.
yeah,
Like,
and you kind of have to just like put yourself in the right mindset and be with the right people, and I knew right away that I wanted to be completely fluent. Like, it wasn't a case of like, oh, I can just talk to my family at home, it's no big deal.
yeah.
Like, I needed to know it, and I wanted to fit in, and it was always this like huge fear of being at school and feeling like the outcast because like you're a foreigner
Mhm.
and you're not like the cool kind of foreigner. You're the kind of like we don't like her. So
Yeah.
I was trying hard to like stay above that.
How long did it take you to become like fairly fluent with English?
I don't know. I mean, that's, as a kid looking back on that, I don't know, because like I said, like I was 8 and I turned 9 like a couple of months after we got here, and by the time I graduated 3rd grade the next year, like it was all there. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, I can't really go back to like a specific day, or you know what I mean, like I don't remember when it clicked, but I do remember, this was the best part, at nighttime, like before I go to bed, my dad, it's the best person I know, he would come into my room and he's like, okay, we gotta go over some flashcards, we're gonna do this, then you gotta go to bed. And we would go over it, he would turn lights off, and then as soon as he's gone, I turn the TV back on and I would watch Dragon Ball Z, I would watch like all the Adult Swim stuff, and
fuck
I
yeah.
would just be so into it, because I knew that I couldn't really understand half of it, but I kind of could, so it really was so interesting that I wanted to know what they were saying.
Man,
So-
I've always wondered what it would be like to just hear English and not understand it. Like,
Yeah, I remember those days. It's really bizarre. And now, like, listening to certain songs, and going back to it and remembering how I didn't know what they were saying and now knowing what they're saying, it's like a completely different reality.
Huh.
It's super fucked up.
Yeah, it's crazy because I can only imagine because I'm an idiot. I don't speak any other
No, but I mean, you
languages.
can like talk to somebody and then all of a sudden you don't know what they're saying. But then if they explain it to you and you keep repeating it, I don't know. Maybe that's nothing you can try.
You said what year was it when you came here?
2001, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Geez, that's a rough time. You get here, 9/11.
Oh yeah, I was sitting in that classroom like, oh my god, and
We
they
gotta
were
go
like,
back.
okay, moment of silence, and they turned that little TV on, and I was just like, oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah, Jesus.
fucked
Do you
up.
know what month it was when you got here? Like, was
I think it was like springtime because it was right before I went to school, like mid-August. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had the whole summer to do nothing.
Yeah, and then right when you get to school, like September rolls around. It's
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
It was very strange.
That would be weird. That'd be really crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What was the reason for you guys moving here?
My mom met my stepdad.
Oh,
I don't know
he's
how.
American or?
Yeah, Steve Denger. So like that's where the last name comes from.
Gotcha. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, does he know Russian or?
Oh, he tries. No, he
Yeah.
can't. No.
Was your mom very? Was she bilingual when you came over here?
Yeah, so she took classes and she had like this agency or whatever that was like helping her send letters to my dad, like real mail, guys, real mail.
Yeah.
Not just, you know. Yeah, so she met him. I don't know exactly how. It must have been over the internet. And then they started writing letters. And then after a couple of years, he visited us a couple of times. And then we came up here and they got married. So
Nice. So he's just from this area.
yeah, he's from the Davenport. He's from Quad Cities.
Nice.
People always ask me like, so why the Quad Cities? And I was like, that's just where I was brought, dude. Like, I don't know.
Don't ask me, man.
That's, yep.
That's really cool. Was there much? I mean, I'm sure there must have been like culture shock then.
No, again, like when you're a kid, everything is so exciting. You're just like, this is so good.
Yeah, you're just
Like all the kids back at home would be so jealous. Like, yeah.
Did it suck? Like, did you have lots of friends you had to leave and everything?
Yeah, but I was so young. I mean, I wasn't a teenager, you know, so
Yeah.
being 8 and like saying bye to
Yeah.
everybody because
It
I'm
would
going to America.
Yeah, it would definitely be worse if you were a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
When I was young, I always had like a fear of like, we can't move.
Yeah.
I'm not losing my friends.
I don't want to
goddammit.
lose my life.
Yeah.
No, I didn't
It
have
took
that.
so long to make these idiots my friends now. I can't just leave and start all over. I ain't got the time
Be
and
all alone. Ugh.
patience for this.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of hard because like I didn't have too many friends growing up. Partly the Russian thing because people were kind of like intimidated by it and just weirded out maybe. But also I was such an artistic kid like all the time that I didn't like do track. I didn't do chess club or any of the
Yeah.
things that people did. So I was just always by myself drawing and painting and doing stuff like that. So I had a couple of good friends, but that was about it.
Yeah. Do you think like if you were still in Russia and you had to move here now, like would it be so much harder like with the language and everything?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I would feel so weird. No, I've often thought like if I never moved, you know, like what would be my life? What would I be doing? I don't know.
What was big in like the place you lived? Like was it like a farming community or like
A
fishing?
uranium plant, you know, just,
Yeah.
just the
Must be
good
a
old
nuclear
like
engineer
yeah.
or something.
Yeah. But I mean, I could have moved away obviously and done other stuff. But I don't know if I would have gotten into photography, to be honest, cuz it's expensive, you know, like it's a big commitment and maybe I would have found money somehow to do that. But
Yeah.
maybe I would have maybe like stuck to more artistic like painting like my mom did and just done that. I don't know.
Do you do that much at all? Drawing
I
and
kind
stuff
of
still?
paint, like I dabble. I'm not like super good, but I do enjoy it from time to time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's pretty cool. Man, I couldn't imagine living in Russia. How
That's
old was
right.
your mom then when you guys came over?
So we have exactly 20 years between us.
Okay.
So if I was 8, she was probably like 28. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
So is she still just an artist then? Is that
Yeah,
what
she's amazing. She still takes like online orders on Etsy and whatever.
Nice. Was
Yep.
it hard for her to get like set up here, like doing her career?
I don't know. She's an interesting person.
We're gonna have her on next.
Yeah.
Next episode.
Get ready. She's great. I think she enjoys partly the fact that she doesn't have to work, because that was always her thing. She's like, I work my whole life, like up until you're 28, and then you got married. And now you don't have to do that. You just kind of have to like do your art and make extra money with that. So I think she's happy on that aspect, but I think she does miss the hustle of like painting different stuff maybe for commission work. I don't know. I'm not sure where she's at with that. But I think she's happy though.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you were a little kid, did she ever have to have any problems with you, like you go and color on her giant canvas and like mess it up or something?
Well, she could always just paint it back to white, I guess. No, I never really did that. And this sounds really shitty, but I was a really good kid. I didn't do anything fucked up. Like, I was so afraid of my mother because she's a very strong, powerful Russian female that could really yell at you. Yeah. So, like, I didn't fuck with her because if I did, it was bad.
Yeah, no good there.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so do you think you want to like? You plan to stay in the QC the whole time? Or?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are plans. Not quite ready to reveal them, but there are plans. Yeah.
Now, do you think if you stayed in Russia, you think you would have came over here anyway to the U.S.? Or?
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe like some kind of work visa type thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean it's expensive. The flight is like. When we came here in 2001, it was like almost $2,000 a person.
Oh man,
it was ridiculous. Yeah, and now it might be less or more. I don't know, but
how long is that flight? Do you know?
It's like 12, 13 hours.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's kind of like going to China. It's like basically the same.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's crazy. I just couldn't imagine.
Yeah, most people don't know that.
Yeah, that's really cool though. Are you very involved? Like. Pay attention to like Russian culture, like Russian photographers or anything like
Surprisingly,
that?
no. Like I'm kind of shitty like that. I probably should. I don't really watch the news. It just kind of appalls me in all aspects.
Yeah.
So I don't really care to know. When it comes to the arts, like I've heard some bands here and there, but again, I don't really seek them out. I'm not sure why, because I am bilingual and I watch a lot of Russian TV. Like I love TV shows and movies and stuff, but I just don't seek it out, I guess. So if it just happens to hit me, I'll look into it. But
yeah.
That's about it. Yeah.
That's cool. So, what do you think the future would be like for you specifically, as far as you want to keep doing the magazine for a long time?
As long as there's passion in it, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if it gets to the point. Sorry, I'm probably gonna burp on camera.
Do it.
Sorry.
It's good.
That is who I am. I do burp a lot. Yeah, if there's passion in it and I feel like it's still serving a specific point, which is like catering to people and inspiring people, then I'll keep going forever. Because the overhead isn't too big when it's just online, it's just the website. So there's no reason why I should stop.
Yeah, definitely. Do you imagine yourself continuing like to do freelance stuff with clients or anything, or like?
You mean like fashion type?
Yeah, or any kind of photography, or like.
Oh yeah.
Or do you assume like you want to like work for a company as a photographer?
I mean, like it's funny you're bringing this up because I'm actually working on my resume right now. I would like objective for like right now. Definitely want to step up my game and be published in bigger and better places, and just maybe make more connections with people in the industry because I do want to continue with it. Definitely. It's the one thing that I've always loved to do, and I never got burnt out on it. You know what I mean? So I got to do it. And long term would probably be like international travel for a project. That would be fucking awesome. Like if I was working with a publication and they're like, hey, we need you to fly out here and shoot. And I'd be like, yeah, done. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I
feel like it'd be really cool to do like nature photography or something, but that would take like hours. Like if you're filming like animals or something, you always gotta stay in a hut for like 2 days or
I was
2
watching that new Netflix One Planet or whatever it's called.
Me and my girlfriend just started that.
It's amazing, and there's a lot of pushback on certain aspects, but then I was reading like how long it took them, and it was like 4 years to film just like a small aspect of it. I was
Yeah,
like, oh my god,
definitely.
that is so much time to spend in like the fucking Arctic, wherever. Like, I don't know.
I love that shit, like Planet Earth and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching all those, but I just blows my mind. It's like, how are you getting these shots?
I don't
Some
know.
of
They're
them are like
fucking
super close,
talented.
like you got good zoom and shit,
Yeah.
something. But yeah, it takes so long to produce that stuff. It's
Yeah.
wild.
You gotta wait for the perfect shot, and then you gotta edit and everything. So I can see it taking forever.
Thank God someone's doing it. You're doing God's work.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
People don't stop.
Yeah. We need more planet shows to binge because we have nothing else to do.
Yeah. I got so pissed after I watched it. I literally refused to give people straws at the restaurant I work at.
Yeah.
I was like, you are the problem.
Yeah, right.
I was so mad.
That's a weird thing. They're trying to say, like, I've heard people say, like, they're putting blame on the consumers, like, oh, don't use your straws, it's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
But really, and then they say, well, actually, it's like 70 corporations that are responsible for the majority.
I mean, it's kind of like everybody, you know?
Yeah. The collective isn't
The collective,
good,
yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
definitely important to take small steps yourself. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I got a glass straw, it looks like I have a crack pipe, but it's a straw.
a glass straw,
Yeah.
you carry it around?
Sometimes, not in this
Mm.
bag, but I do have it.
Seems kind of dangerous.
Yeah, the lady was like, it shouldn't break. And I was like, I'm totally going to sit on it. It's just going to snap in half.
Come to find out, it's actually just plastic. Fuck.
Oh, that would be so sad. No, I'm sure it's glass.
Or like quartz or whatever the fuck, maybe. But I don't know. Man, that's interesting. Do you think, like, since it seems like there's a lot of photographers everywhere?
Yeah, the market's like really overpopulated, but it's the same with musicians, to be honest. Like,
It's the same
Yeah.
with a lot of things.
yeah.
Do you find that, can you tell, like, some people are like, they're not really good at this. They just grabbed a camera and are acting
Sometimes-
like they know what they're doing? Because
Yeah,
there's like a
like-
whole art to it, obviously.
Yeah, like some people have an eye for it. Some people just know the mechanics of like how to shoot, so you can tell that like they thought it out and they knew what they were doing, but there wasn't like any soul in it.
Yeah.
You can always tell that. I don't know. I'm not gonna shit talk anybody, so
We don't need to drop any names.
Yeah. But yeah, I do see it every now and then, and there's nothing I can do. Like, cool, you're doing the thing you think you're good at. Like,
Right.
all the power to you.
Now, do you think like the majority of photographers are like good or like mean well, or as
I
compared
think
to like
it's-
someone who's just like, I just bought this camera, I'm starting to charge? Like,
Yeah. Oh no, for sure. There's a huge like gap of quality. Obviously, the one thing I have noticed is like Instagram models, Instagram photographers.
Oh yeah.
It's absurd, and I don't know why people think they're cool because they're not. The quality there definitely isn't as good as it should be, and it's always like a phone pic of some girl sitting somewhere in Italy, and it's like, okay, cool, that's not realistic. But then you see people taking real beautiful photos, and it's simple. It's just like some woman standing in the streets, maybe not even knowing that she was having her photo taken, but she's like well dressed, and the person thought out like all the lighting and they edited well, so you can tell there's art behind it. But I feel like the Instagram photography market is shifting to be less quality, which is kind of annoying because like the most like popular people are those that probably don't have as much talent as
Yeah.
those that are really good, and it really makes me sad.
Yeah. Well, go follow Dasha for sure.
And it's not just like, oh, you follow me. It's more like there's so many photographers that I follow that, fuck, I don't know, they get like maybe 50 likes on a photo, and they deserve to be seen by so many more. But unless you're buying ads and really
Yeah.
like selling yourself, no one gives a fuck. Because
Right,
again, it's
right.
so oversaturated. There's so many people, and they all want to be the prettiest, and they all want to be the coolest, and that's just not the reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think people are realizing that, like how it's just
Yeah, I hope it's
this
like in the back of our
fakeness
thoughts.
to like a lot of this Instagram
Yeah.
stuff and everything. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like, yeah, I saw like a quote or whatever screenshot of someone that said like, unfollow all these like Instagram like models and stuff. Go follow like actual artists or something.
Mhm.
And your perspective will change, and it's probably true.
Yep.
See,
Mine is really bleak and sad. It just says, I'm not here to make a difference. I literally don't give a fuck. I don't know why I did that. I've been meaning to change it, and it's just like a black circle
I like it. No,
where my face is. And I was feeling so mad about the whole thing one night, and I was just like, fuck this. You think I'm here trying to be pretentious? Well, fuck you. That's not why I'm here. And I changed it.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
I'd follow you.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Like you're not just trying to be like, oh, I'm the shit. Look at this stuff. You know, it seems like honest.
Yeah.
Like what you're
saying.
saying.
It's not like, oh, I want all the likes. I just want people to see my work, I guess.
Just look at it.
It's sad when I see like, okay, there's no engagement. It's like, okay, so what happened there? Was it bad?
The weird thing about that is like, well, you know, Facebook owns Instagram, and like, they always change like the algorithms or whatever.
Oh my god, yeah, it's fucked up.
Shit appears in your feed, and yeah, that's like a whole nother game in of itself. How am I gonna work around these algorithms to get it on top? But
yeah, instead of showcasing your art to people, you're like trying to fight the system and figure out how to get the most amount of people, when really you should just be posting your shit and people should be looking at it. Like, it really started out so simple, and now it's like all this mechanical, I don't know.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
It's a strange time.
Yeah.
What do you think are certain techniques or anything that like can make or break like a good photo? Like where you can tell like, oh, this is like a, you know, someone who's like artistically minded or creative versus someone who's just like, they just took this picture and whatever. Is there certain things you notice or something like that would maybe give it away? Like, oh, this person isn't that talented or something. Like,
sometimes I feel like certain photos that fit that criteria are missing maybe originality. Maybe they're missing like an actual angle, like the shooting angle. They were just kind of like blob, like nothing happened. They didn't try. The model didn't move, they didn't move, and it's strange how people like that, how like somebody can just stand there and there's no work put into it and everyone loves that photo. And like I personally love it too, because there's just some weird science to it and I can't get my head around it. Like I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the film aspect, because like more people are shooting film, so naturally you just love the colors.
Yeah.
But a lot of time I feel like you didn't fucking do anything. Like this girl's just standing there in a weird dress and you got lucky because she's pretty. So sometimes it definitely feels like there isn't as much thought that gets put into those photos, and that's how I can tell. But other than that, like maybe just like the editing too, like if it's over edited or no editing at all, sometimes shows like it's like raw, but it's like a little too raw.
Yeah. You like a nice middle ground or something.
Yeah, like just like a smidge of perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, and then comes down to, like you said, interesting angles and such.
Yeah.
Seeing your magazine, like it looks pretty colorful. Looks nice.
I try to have like a variance of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Is there anything in photography you haven't tried that you'd like to experiment with creatively or?
Creatively,
or even just a type of photography you'd like, I'm gonna go take some, you know, like not necessarily real estate photography, maybe like architectural photography or something, like I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Kind of. I mean, I've dabbled in almost all of it, because like I said, I've anything from nature. I've done landscapes. I've done fashion, weddings, portraits, kids, animals, bugs, flowers.
Yeah.
Black and whites, candids, street photos. Like I've done almost everything I can think of, because I love to try new things. So that's kind of why my work is always all over the place, because I like everything.
Yeah.
And to name one thing, I don't think I can. I don't know. I don't really know what I haven't done. Maybe just more landscapes, because I used to travel a bit more. Would love to go back to doing like mountains and like lakes and scenes like that. That would be super cool.
Or even doing like weird stuff with your models, like crazy clothes or just weird settings or something.
Yeah.
Like,
and I always try to do that. And this is like a truly sore subject with me, because I want to do the wacky, like, okay, she's holding a fucking orange or something, and it's just like totally weird. But then I do it, and then I think, no, that's cliche. That's dumb. Let's go some other direction. And then I look back on that and I think, no, you should have fucking stuck with that, because that was cool and you knew it was cool, but then you like doubted yourself. So I'm always having that like inner battle of, you know what you're doing, just do it.
Yeah.
Don't feel afraid of it, because like, you know, it's going to be awesome. So I think I need to just follow my gut on more things, going forward. Yeah.
When you get that voice in your head, like, are you sure? Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is pretentious. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah. I can relate to that. Fucking. Like, is this pretentious or
Am I safe?
I didn't mean to be. But
Yeah.
well, if they think it is, fuck them. Who cares?
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm not here to make a difference. I
Yeah.
literally don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I think it's good. That's the attitude you gotta have. Like, yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Yep.
Interesting.
Sorry, I've been swearing so much. Is this cool? Like, is that okay?
I've been swearing.
Okay,
Please.
cool.
Please
Okay.
do.
I mean, I'm sure there's small children watching this at home right now.
Well, that was. I don't know. Maybe. Good for them. Good for them.
They're educating themselves.
I am against shielding children from shit.
Ditto, yeah.
Fuck censorship.
They're gonna learn it from someone. Fuck it, just explain to them what it is and use it right, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, just explain to them like what it is. It's like, man, fucking A. If you try and shield your kids, it's not gonna be good.
That's right.
It's gonna go off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's crazy. But I don't know. I don't want to keep you too long. I know you have to get out of here soon.
Oh yeah.
Anything else I missed?
I think we pretty much covered a lot of personal detail.
Yeah.
The magazine, photography. No.
I'm not a very good host. I just spitball it.
No, I love it. Yeah, I didn't like rehearse anything. I was like, I'm just gonna answer questions. It's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy because like I'm like an artist myself, and I might take pictures of things, but I could never like call myself like a photographer. Like I don't have like an actual nice photography camera or anything. But if I did acquire one, I mean, I might just take pictures for fun. I'd just be taking pictures of everything, and like whether it's good or bad, it's like I don't know. Like maybe it's like that gut feeling, like, oh, is this good? Is it like? I have no idea. I've never like did
Chances
you study
are it's
photography or
no? I mean, in high school, I took like some like film classes when we actually had a darkroom in our high schools.
Wait, which school did you go to?
I went to Pleasant Valley.
Yeah,
Now,
okay, yeah,
don't
you
hate
said-
me for it.
Well, yeah, you said you're in Iowa.
It wasn't
yeah,
my choice.
yeah, I went to Moline. They had the same thing. We had the dark room and shit. I
yeah.
don't even know if they do that
No,
anymore.
dude, they got rid of ours like years
Yeah.
ago, and I was so sad.
Yeah, I doubt they do that nowadays. So I'm stoked that I got to do that. back
Okay,
in the
so now
day.
we're gonna have an iPhone class. Everybody
Oh,
sit down.
man.
Like, would that be so sad?
Like when I was a freshman, they had a photography class, and they had like a I think they just called it graphic arts class.
Yep.
I took both of them. I was like, this is dope. Get like
I
dive
did all
in,
those,
get
yeah.
a lot of info and stuff. And then after that, it might have been the next year, next couple of years, they just combined it, photographic arts or something into one class. It's like I was glad I got to get the separate treatment of like,
Yeah.
but get more shit covered, I guess. But
Yeah, but
yeah, I don't even think they have the darkroom anymore.
yeah, but I didn't go to college for it. If that's what you were asking. No, I
yeah.
just did some classes in high school, and then it was all self-taught.
Because I've talked to another photographer too, and I don't think he's ever messed around with a darkroom or anything. And it's probably becoming more and more common.
Yeah, I kind of wish I paid more attention, to be honest. I'm so bad at developing. I'm okay at like shooting film and sending it up for someone else to do that, but I feel like I'd fuck up all my roles if I tried to do it.
I mean, I think I had some pictures that came out decently and some that came out very bad.
Yeah.
But that's
Sounds
a whole
about right,
like
yeah.
you got photography, which is like the whole art in itself, and then the whole if you take it into the darkroom, that's like a whole nother thing.
Yeah, it's a science. Like,
Yeah.
it's literally chemicals.
Yeah, like photography used to be so hard.
Yeah.
Takes so much time, but yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
and-
even.
Yeah, and that's the thing with like calling yourself a photographer. Like, I don't think people should be ashamed of calling themselves photographers, even if they don't feel like they are. I think it's just, do you feel like you're an artist that made something worthwhile for yourself and for others? Do you feel like someone can look at that and maybe be inspired? Do you feel like it's quality?
Right.
Because if you don't feel any of those things, it's just like a snapshot, then like, okay, maybe you're not a photographer.
You're right.
And you're just fucking around, and that's fine too. Like, just maybe know what your goal is,
Right.
where you're going with it. Yeah.
Right. So in the end, what's your long-term goal then? When you're like an old woman, what do you want to? What are you gonna have achieved by?
I just want thousands of people bringing me cake and wine, probably. Just like one after the other while I'm in bed, not working.
That's a great dream.
No, I
You
want
can
to, yeah, a big like villa south of France. You know?
Yes. you want to live outside of the U.S. or anything?
I do, dude. I do so bad. I would kill to live in London. I don't know why. Always wanted to be in the UK.
You think it's like the artsy aspect of it, getting into that art scene?
It's just the city. Like honestly, the aesthetic of it, like architecturally, I love their buildings. I love the people, like the walking around. Everything is just perfect. And I've never been. And I just like from what I've seen,
Yeah.
it's just like I want this.
I definitely want to travel a shit ton.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I don't know if I'd live in another country. Maybe I would.
Yeah. But yeah, both those things. I want to travel, but I also would love to live somewhere. Like maybe not forever, but like for a couple of years.
Yeah, like I'm picky. I want to have enough money to go experiment.
Yeah.
Like I would if I was like rich, I want to go live in like New York City for like 6 months at least, and
you need some money. Yeah.
that would be hectic. I don't even know like it'd be crazy like just dealing with that lifestyle.
It's a lot of stress, yeah.
Yeah, and so busy and everything, but that'd be so interesting.
Yeah.
Especially coming from like the Midwest, obviously, but maybe go to like some dope like laid back Asian countries like Bhutan or something.
That would be super cool.
Yeah, where it's like really beautiful too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm into art too, of all things. I'd love to go check out just the architecture and everything. Like,
yeah,
it's so
that's
different
like
all around the
number
world.
one. And nature, like I love the nature. Like anytime I've gone west or south, it's so beautiful. Because a lot of times, like, I'll be talking to my boyfriend. He's like, okay, so where do you want to go? And we made plans, like, years ago to go. We went to the southwest and to the northwest. And each time he's like, well, there's not much to do in that city. And I'm like, we're there for the fucking mountains and the camping. That's the only reason we're going. Like, when I think travel, it's just nature. Like, that's it.
Yeah, yeah. When I think of it, I want to, like, even if I'm in like some random town, if I have the time, it's like I'd like to go check out like what's the local music scene or some shit. Like go see what they got going on here. Something that'd be interesting.
What cool bars should I go to?
Yeah. I don't know, but I like living in the U.S. or I love the U.S. as a country like geographically because we have so much different. You go to the desert, even like up north. There's like rainforest type areas even, and then you got like obviously the plains and like somewhere in like Seattle or Washington I've heard there's
maybe
some dense ass forests and shit. It's like goddamn, we got it all, I guess. But you go up fucking Alaska in the dead winter.
Far out there. Yeah
but I don't know, it's crazy.
But then like I think of Europe and it's like, okay, so we have the United States and like in 30 hours you can be on the other side of it. That's cool. But then in Europe 30 minutes you can be into a different fucking country.
Yeah.
Like that's so good.
We take it for granted too, because it's like Illinois could be a country, Iowa could be a country as far as
and we're
size
constantly
and
just
stuff.
like crossing it. It's like no big deal.
It's like we don't care. Like, but were you very inspired by like Russian architecture when you were there? Was it cool?
It's amazing. It's super cool. Most people are always thinking like the onion domes and like that's like churches in bigger cities, just like literally just churches and like places of worship. Like that's it. No one else uses that. And maybe on like some weird occasion someone will build like a vacation home with one of those. But technically when I think of Russia, I think just European style houses. Like everything's just kind of like medium tall, like maybe 4 stories high. Long streets, walkways everywhere. You ride the bus anywhere you need to go. Parks everywhere. I mean, not like upscale parks, just like open area.
Yeah.
And just like little shops and stores. Yeah. So
that's cool. What part were you from? Like what city?
So it was called Novorossiysk, and it's a closed city. So like I don't know if they're changing that or not, but unless you were born there, you can't go. That's right. It was in the Ural Mountains. So like if you're looking at the map and you split it in half, and then you split that in half, it's the side like closest to Europe, I want to say. It's just like right in the mountains if you were looking down that strip.
Nice. Can I ask, what was your original last name?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Yeah.
For legal purposes.
It's confidential.
Yeah. I try not to like tell people what it is unless I have to. So.
Right. I feel you. Hell yeah. Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you. This was awesome.
Yeah, super fun. But tell these motherfuckers, how can they find your shit?
Motherfuckers. Get your pencils ready. It's a long one. It's really not though. It's just my name. Dasha Denger photo and it's the same for Instagram, Dasha Denger Photo, and the editorial QC is, oh my god, I forgot, theeditorialqc.com, and hashtag theeditorialqc. So it's super simple.
Hell yeah. Hit it up, people. Get out there, man.
If I don't see some followers like tomorrow,
Yeah, she's gonna come after me if there's not. I didn't do good. Yes, we got a high-end fashion magazine right here. So we got everything here in the QC. What more do you need?
Everything. You got everything, guys. What are you doing?
Hell yes. Well, thank you again.
Thank you.
Until next time, we'll see you around. Goodbye.